What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Thank y'all so much for coming back. I know that this is new. I decided to just change it up a bit. And I've also decided to call this the Girl and God podcast. So, yeah, I just appreciate just all the love, all the support. And today is going to be a very good lesson, a very good teaching. So, let's get to it. So, yeah, by the title, you guys can pretty much sum up what today's going to be about. And that's going to be about past traumas and just letting it go. Now, y'all, I know that it's crazy, but it seems like letting something go has to be the most heartbreaking, thing ever. It's like, it's crazy that you can carry something with you that you do not want. And giving it up is even harder than you think. You think that it will be easy to give up something that you don't want, but it's hard because you've been so attached to that thing. You've been so drawn to that thing. That thing has been within your life for so long that you think that it's just a part of who you are. But I'm here to tell you, no, no, sis. It's not a part of who you are. It's something that, was destined over your life to take your life. And you can literally let that thing go, give it to God, give no energy to it, give no thought to it, and live your life. Now, a lot of people may not know this, but, I grew up in a very harsh environment. It may not look like it, but y'all, I've been through a lot. I'm 24 years old and it feels like I'm 48. I promise you. It feels like I've lived double my lifetime because of how much stuff, I've actually been in and I've actually, grew from. So, just to give y'all a kind of like a backstory, it's not going to be long, but I grew up in a single parent home. I grew up with my mom not really having much, us not really having much, us having to work our butts off, to make it, to be satisfied. As soon as I could work, as soon as I turned 15, me and my brother, we both got a job at this little car wash. We was washing cars, and we would spend that paycheck on like clothes for the school year because my mom couldn't afford it. She never could afford anything for us, really. And, as soon as we worked, we just made sure that we got everything that, we've ever, wanted. So I can say that part of my childhood, me working at an early age and me wanting to work for the things that I wanted, it really did produce a worker within me. Now I know what it means to work, and I work hard at everything that I do because I know that I'm working for something. But y'all, I grew up in such a toxic home. I grew up in a home where my my biological father was not there. I had a father figure come in later on, but he didn't really know how to communicate with me and my brother. He had issues himself, and I just remember growing up. I so between me and my brother, I was the very humble one. I was just very meek. My brother, he was more of like the strong, like alpha person. Like no one tried him. And this is not to put anything on my mom because my mom is loving. She's a total different person now, and I totally understand everything that she's had to go through. Dang, my camera went out. My camera on my phone went out. I was supposed to see how I was looking, but anyways, yeah. So my mom, she pretty much had to take on both roles of my mom and my father. So she was very, very strong and built for that role. Now, this is nothing against my mom. I love her to death, and she's a completely different person that she once was. But during that time, you know, I can definitely say that my mom used the tactic of fear to kind of control us because she had to make ground. She was raising a woman, a soon-to-be woman, which is me, and a soon-to-be man, which is my brother. And she wanted to make sure that she was strict enough so she had that respect. Her thing was respect. And I was afraid of her, to be honest. I was afraid. I was afraid to ask. I was afraid, I wouldn't dare talk back. And if I did, I knew what was coming. But my brother, he was more headstrong. He was more bold and resilient. And that's actually something that I wish I had been more of. But now I'm starting to see that those little tactics of fear and those little seeds, they really did plant something within me that kind of carried along in my life in general. When I got older, I finally realized that there's a time and there's a place for everything. So it may not be every day that I need to speak up and voice my opinion, but now I know that when I do come to that point, and I know when I come to that point, that I am not out of line for speaking my mind. I'm not out of line for speaking up to something that I know that's not right. Being in a fatherless home, a lot of us can relate. Whenever we do get that one guy that likes us, whenever we do get that one person who shows us attention, we treat them like everything, okay? We hold on tight. We're very clingy, very possessive, and my first boyfriend taught me that I had daddy issues. Even though he was completely fine with it and it did nothing for me because he actually liked that, it actually taught me that that's not love. Love isn't clinging on to somebody for dear life and wanting to be with them 24 hours out of the day and wanting to. I would do things like he would work a whole shift at work and I would just be in the car waiting on him because I just wanted to be with him. You know what I mean? I used to sneak out the house and do dumb stuff just to be with this guy, and that's not love. And I just grew up where as a child you just don't know. You don't know nothing. You only know what's around you. And that's my only thing about growing up. It's like you really don't have a mind of your own yet because it's so influenced. Sorry, you guys, that is my phone. But you're so influenced just by what you see, what you know, and what you hear. And then those things decide and those things make up your mind. So I grew up in a home where it was fatherless. I didn't have a father that I could just turn to and cry to, and he can wipe away my tears and make me feel like the daughter that I deserve to feel. No, instead I took that to men, and then that baggage was on me. And I just wanted to make, y'all, that's the doorbell, I'm sorry if you can hear that, but I just wanted to just really come on here and really just it's really just for the females, and it really can be males too. But if you're struggling with something, and if it's been a part of your life for so long, you gotta let it go, because it will literally bleed. It will bleed. It will bleed into your life. It will bleed into who you are, your relationships, where you work at. Like, it will bleed into those things. And it's just so important to deal with things whenever you're feeling a certain type of way, man. Y'all wouldn't believe what I've learned about emotions. Like, I was an emotional person, growing up, because I didn't know no better. Like, I would be happy, then I would be afraid, then I would be sad, then I would be mad. It's like you're so influenced by so much around you that you just don't know, like, how to deal with it, who you are. Are you angry all the time? Are you sad all the time? Are you quiet? I was a quiet person growing up. I really didn't like talking to people. I was such an introvert. But come to realize, I was like that because I felt like I couldn't relate to nobody. growing up, I couldn't relate to my mom. The only person I could relate to was my brother, and I felt like he was the only one that could understand me. So I just clinged to my brother. I felt like my brother understood me, so I just clinged to him. I felt like anybody else wouldn't. So, y'all, emotions will take you for a ride if you let it. It really, really will. Being emotional is something that God, He really didn't ordain for us, because if you really think about it, and if you look in the Bible, that God, He over and over and over says and explains that He's given us peace. That's the only type of emotion I feel like He's given us, was a peace. And peace isn't even really an emotion. Peace is like a state of mind. Peace is being able to maybe feel certain things, but able to act in a certain way. So, okay, even if I do see this, oh, I was just in a car accident, but you know what, I'm good. It's like peace is like a state of mind. It's not an emotion. I feel like emotions are not a state of mind, because they're so temporary and they're so up and down and they change so much. So emotions are really just like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I really have to look up the definition to really explain it. But, I just really just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that you got to deal with your past traumas. If you get mad every time someone talks to you a certain type of way, that's how I used to be. I never really understood why I didn't really like people telling me what to do. And not even that, I'm in the military, so sometimes it would really bother me if my NCO or the person above me would say, hey, I need you to go do this, you need to come back, you need to be back by 10. And like, as soon as they start the sentence with, I need you to do this or don't do this, I would automatically shut them down. I wouldn't even listen to them, or I would have an attitude towards them, because I didn't like the way that they were speaking to me. And that was because of my childhood. My mom was so controlling and possessive, that she talked to me like that. And I had to follow her. I had to follow what she said, because I needed a place to stay. You know what I mean? So I had to conform to her rules. And now it's like, it was hard for me to listen to people above me, because I felt like they were trying to control me. I felt like they were trying to put these rules on me when they really weren't. They were really just doing their jobs and just showing their authority, so you won't go out doing the wrong thing, that you would do exactly what I need you to do because I told you how to do it. So, don't abandon your emotions. Sit down with them. Sit down with them. Come to peace with them and get over them. The emotions may look like they're here to kind of like trap you, but they're here for you to deal with them, get rid of that baggage, and leave. So, thank y'all so much. If you haven't seen already, please follow my new Instagram. It is @God&Girl, but the N is with an X. So thank y'all so much for coming on and tuning in to me. I really, really appreciate it. And until then, y'all, peace. Y'all stay uplifted. Bye.